We're both really volatile. And I think that's a good thing.
Rachael Ray built her multi-million-dollar career on two things: honesty and relatability. She's the woman who ripped the intimidation out of gourmet cooking, convincing millions that they too could whip up a beautiful meal in 30 minutes or less. But beneath the relentless, cheerful smile and the massive empire she constructed, there's a backstory most fans never fully grasped. Her nearly two-decade-long marriage to John Cusimano, the man who became her legal and emotional rock, has been defined by more than just loyalty. It has been a lightning rod for controversy, explosive rumors, and unsettling truths that have repeatedly split the public. Now, the full, complicated details of that relationship are finally coming into the light, revealing a dynamic far more volatile and passionate than anyone could have possibly imagined. Born on August 25, 1968, in Glens Falls, New York, Rachael Ray was forged by the chaos of food service. Her Italian-Sicilian mother, Elsa Providenza Scuderi, ran restaurants, while her father, James Claude Ray, brought French, Scottish, and Welsh roots to the mix. Growing up in Lake George, she was steeped in the industry, and as a teenager, she was already working at Sutton's Marketplace in Queensbury. There, she wasn't just stocking shelves and selling baked goods like raisin bread and cider donuts. She was taking her first tentative steps toward performing by starring in local store commercials. After finishing Lake George High School, Rachel chased the big city dream, moving to New York. By 1995, she was behind the candy counter at Macy's, but when the company tried to dump unapproved responsibilities onto her plate, she simply walked out. A brief stop at Agata and Valentina, a specialty food store, led to her eventual return to Lake George. That single choice would radically change her life's trajectory. Back upstate in 1996, she began managing a restaurant at the Grand Sagamore Hotel, then moved on to Cowan and Lowell, a gourmet market in Albany. It was there, in a makeshift classroom, that she pioneered her concept: 30-minute meals. Her unique ability to make food accessible and fun grabbed the attention of a local CBS affiliate, WRGB, which offered her a weekly television segment. Within a few years, her first cookbook hit the shelves, and by 2001, the Food Network had signed her to a major contract. The early 2000s saw Rachael Ray explode into a household name. Her shows, particularly $40 a Day and the flagship 30-minute meals, cemented her as one of the most recognizable faces in American media. Yet, it wasn't just her career hitting warp speed. Her personal life was about to take a completely unexpected turn. In 2001, at a mutual friend's birthday party, she was introduced to John M. Cusimano. John, a lawyer and musician, later joked that the party was filled with tall people, and in that sea of knees, they noticed each other. Their conversation naturally gravitated toward Rachel's obsession: food. When John described a meal he had cooked, Rachel immediately jumped to a false conclusion. She assumed he was gay. She even considered attempting to set him up with another Italian friend. But when he corrected her assumption, they kept talking, staying up until 4 a.m. From that night forward, they spoke every single day. For Rachel, who had nearly given up on the idea of marriage, John was a total, unforeseen change of luck. For John, she was the intense, driven partner who would ultimately redefine the path of his entire life. By the time the early 2000s were fully underway, Rachael Ray's career was a rocket ship. The 2001 Food Network deal led directly to the 2002 launch of $40 a Day, which ran until 2005. The premise was deceptively simple yet brilliant. Rachel would explore different cities and attempt to eat 3 full meals a day on a scant $40 budget. Viewers were captivated by her raw, unfiltered enthusiasm for street food and local culture, and the show solidified her image as a genuinely relatable guide for everyday Americans. As her professional star ascended, her personal life flourished right alongside it. The man she met in 2001, John Cusimano, had a backstory that seemed completely mismatched with hers, yet somehow made him her perfect counterpart. Born in August 1967, John had been intensely passionate about music since childhood. He was talented enough to earn acceptance into the highly prestigious Berklee College of Music. However, he followed his parents' practical, cautious advice and pursued law instead. After graduating, he established himself as an entertainment lawyer in New York City, specializing in film. Despite choosing a pragmatic career, his love for music never faded. He eventually became the charismatic frontman for the rock band The Cringe, where he played guitar and sang, expertly balancing his creative energy with the sharp discipline of his legal training. For Rachel, John's specific blend of artistry and practicality was incredibly refreshing. He wasn't just a starving musician chasing a long shot. He possessed the legal acumen necessary to navigate the brutal, complicated world of television contracts and licensing. Rachel would later confess with striking candor, "The smartest thing I ever did was marry an entertainment lawyer. Saved me a bundle." This powerful blend of raw passion and calculating practicality would become the true foundation of their partnership. In September 2005, 4 years after their fateful meeting, the couple traveled to Italy to exchange vows at Castello di Vicarello, a breathtaking Tuscan castle. The wedding was an intimate, elegant affair attended only by their closest friends and family, and it marked the beginning of a marriage that has now endured for nearly 2 decades. Tuscany would forever remain a sacred place for them. A decade later, in 2015, they returned to that very same castle to renew their vows, this time with a gathering of 100 loved ones. Rachel marked the emotional occasion by reciting a poem titled "All the Whiskey in Heaven," telling John, "Under any circumstance, I would still choose you, and I would still be with you. And I love you more than all the whiskey in heaven." On the surface, it looked like an absolute fairy tale. Rachel was a bona fide Food Network superstar and a newly minted daytime television host, with The Rachael Ray Show premiering in 2006. John continued performing with The Cringe, while quietly and gradually taking on a more powerful role, managing his wife's gargantuan, rapidly expanding empire. Yet, even as they projected an image of perfect unity, shadows began to creep in. Fame had instantly made Rachel a target, and by extension, John was now a frequent subject of tabloid speculation. Very soon, dark rumors of infidelity and scandal would begin to severely overshadow their carefully crafted image of domestic bliss. No public marriage can ever be truly immune to relentless media scrutiny. For Rachael Ray and John Cusimano, the vicious whispers started almost immediately after their dreamy Tuscan wedding in 2005. While Rachel was cresting the biggest wave of her career, with Food Network massively expanding her presence and her daytime show just hitting the airwaves, tabloids began publishing sensational, destructive stories that threatened to completely undermine the integrity of her seemingly perfect relationship. The earliest, most damaging rumors suggested that John was being unfaithful, with some outlets even brazenly claiming he had been involved with sex workers. For a couple who were still basking in their newlywed glow, the allegations were profoundly damaging. On The Rachael Ray Show, she took the highly unusual step of addressing the gossip head-on, pleading with her audience. "Everybody gossips, but this stuff is hurting people's feelings who are in our families and friends of ours. They worry about us." She urgently implored fans to dismiss the tabloid lies, but the dark cloud of speculation had already been permanently cast. Then came the year 2013, when the National Enquirer ran an explosive story alleging that John had been spotted frequenting a swinger club in New York on multiple occasions, always without his wife. According to the scandalous report, he had been seen there no less than 6 separate times. The accusations were sensational, humiliating, and threatened to instantly dismantle nearly a decade of marriage under the intense public eye. Rachel's team immediately released a forceful statement denying the story, labeling it yet another pack of lies from the notorious tabloid. John himself was reportedly preparing to file a massive lawsuit against the magazine. Yet, despite the firm, unambiguous denials, the corrosive gossip refused to die. The damage wasn't merely external. Rachel and John's actual marriage was far from traditional, and the couple has been startlingly open about their fierce, fiery arguments. In her 2024 podcast, "I'll Sleep When I'm Dead," Rachel admitted that she and John have never had a single moment of peace and frequently erupt into screaming matches. She has repeatedly insisted that their intense, volatile dynamic is actually healthy. But to outsiders watching closely, the shocking confession only added potent fuel to the already rampant rumors of deep marital instability. Despite the continuous controversy, they relentlessly carried on. In 2015, they publicly renewed their vows at their cherished Tuscan castle, reaffirming their commitment before family and friends. Rachel temporarily silenced critics by reading All the Whiskey in Heaven, a powerful poem that underscored her unwavering dedication to John. Still, the undeniable fact remained. Persistent trust issues and ugly rumors had left permanent scars on how the public perceived their bond. For some, they were the quintessential passionate couple who defiantly weathered every storm together. For others, they tragically embodied the crushing cost of celebrity. They were two people perpetually forced to defend their private love against relentless, corrosive speculation. As the years wore on, it wasn't just their marriage under fire. Rachel herself faced mounting harsh criticism from her peers, her own fans, and even other celebrity chefs. And once again, John was right there, standing beside her in the blazing crosshairs of every single storm. By the mid-2000s, Rachael Ray had firmly established herself as one of the most intensely polarizing figures in the entire culinary world. Her massive empire stretched across Food Network shows, dozens of cookbooks, a magazine, and even a popular line of nutritious pet food. But with this unparalleled success came a wave of intense professional resentment. Critics repeatedly attacked her 30-minute meals concept, meticulously pointing out that the promised time frame failed to account for necessary prep work. Others relentlessly mocked her signature catchphrases, most famously "Evu" for extra virgin olive oil. Meanwhile, elite celebrity chefs like Anthony Bourdain, Martha Stewart, and Giada De Laurentiis took continuous public potshots at her professional credibility. Stewart once openly dismissed Rachel's inability to bake, while Bourdain famously accused her of dumbing down food culture for a mass audience. In 2012, the New York Times published a devastating piece alleging that Rachel did not actually write her own cookbooks, a revelation that sparked genuine outrage among fans who had purchased more than 20 titles under her name. Though Rachel vigorously defended herself, admitting she had assistance with organization, but fiercely insisting the recipes were all her own, the damage was irreversible. The revelation left a permanent dent in her reputation. The backlash intensified after she chose to publicly stand by her friend Mario Batali during his significant sexual misconduct scandal in 2017, openly declaring that he had always treated her fairly. Many fans viewed this stance as shockingly tone-deaf, further souring her already precarious public image. Yet throughout all these professional and personal storms, John Cusimano was not just her husband, he was her secret weapon. He made the massive shift from his lucrative law career to dedicate himself full-time to her growing empire. As an accomplished entertainment lawyer, he meticulously helped negotiate high-stakes licensing deals, critical brand partnerships, and complex media contracts, effectively saving her millions of dollars. Behind the scenes, he became her essential business partner, single-handedly ensuring that her brand could expand while simultaneously protecting her from the kind of exploitative deals that have financially ruined other television personalities. But John was always more than just a lawyer. His rock band, The Cringe, gave him his own crucial creative outlet. While at home, he skillfully carved out a specialized role as Rachel's personal mixologist. While she masterfully handled the meals, he was in complete charge of the cocktails, creating recipes that even made it onto the Rachael Ray Show, such as his signature Lost in the Woods, the Negroni, and the sophisticated rosé champagne spritzer. It was this remarkable balance, her amazing food and his perfect drinks, that made them look like the ultimate seamless team on camera. Still, not everyone was truly convinced. Audiences who attended live tapings of the Rachael Ray Show frequently posted extremely negative reviews, often describing Rachel as moody and visibly detached the moment the camera stopped rolling. Some attendees even claimed they felt deep sympathy for her staff, suggesting that she secretly resented the grueling grind of daily daytime television. To many observers, the stark contrast between her famously cheerful on-screen persona and the rumored unhappy, stressed energy behind the scenes perfectly mirrored the deep contradictions present in her marriage. They appeared to be perfect, unified partners, yet their arguments were already the stuff of legend. Their public defenses against the incessant tabloid attacks were relentless, and through it all, John never left her side. He remained husband, lawyer, bartender, musician, and lightning rod for rumor. As their relationship bravely marched into its second decade, new and unexpected challenges arrived, ranging from family tragedies to devastating losses at home. Once again, their marriage would be severely tested in ways no one could have possibly predicted. Rachael Ray's life has been far from free of genuine heartbreak. In 2013, a personal tragedy struck when her beloved Aunt Geraldine died just outside Rachel's house, after being accidentally locked out in dangerously freezing weather. Some family members immediately and openly blamed Rachael for negligence, with accusations even claiming her aunt was not given a house key. Tensions dramatically escalated when Rachael missed the actual funeral due to an unavoidable work commitment, which severely deepened the rift within her family. Her brother publicly defended her, but the personal wounds never fully healed. Personal misfortunes continued to haunt her. In the 1990s, she was brutally mugged twice in a single week in New York City. In 2020, her cherished Adirondack home tragically burned down in a devastating fire, forcing her to undertake a massive rebuild from the foundations up. Just a year later, Hurricane Ida severely damaged the newly renovated property. Health scares only added to the burden. Her famously raspy voice, which was actually caused by childhood throat problems, fueled rampant rumors of cancer in 2008 when she had necessary surgery to remove a benign cyst. Through all this chaos, John Cusimano remained steadfastly at her side. While tabloids relentlessly speculated about cheating and scandal, he was also her partner in rebuilding their homes, expertly managing lawsuits over her nutritious pet food brand, and navigating major business setbacks that would have completely crushed anyone else. Their enduring bond was undeniably complicated, intensely fiery, and often questioned by the public. But in the most brutal moments of tragedy, they proved they could endure together. Nearly 2 full decades after their wedding in Tuscany, Rachael Ray and John Cusimano still passionately divide public opinion. In 2023, Rachael made the powerful decision to end her incredibly long-running daytime talk show after 17 seasons, shifting her professional focus entirely to her own production company, Free Food Studios. She also launched her confessional podcast, I'll Sleep When I'm Dead, where she very candidly admitted that her marriage is absolutely filled with arguments, but fiercely insisted that this fiery, volatile energy is precisely what keeps their bond alive and dynamic. Despite the pervasive old rumors, their relationship consistently shows clear signs of profound devotion. In August 2024, John posted a heartfelt birthday tribute to Rachael, calling her his forever love and forever home. Just days before, she had celebrated his 58th birthday with genuinely heartfelt words and several intimate photos featuring their beloved rescue dog, Bella. They now comfortably split their time between their rebuilt home in the Adirondacks and their beloved Italy, where John still actively plays music and Rachael continues to strategically expand her massive brand. Their extraordinary marriage has successfully survived gossip, public backlash, painful family disputes, and devastating personal tragedies. For some, it stands as a powerful, moving proof of profound resilience. For others, it's a constant, stark reminder that even the brightest, most successful public figures carry deep shadows in their private lives. What do you think? Have Rachael and John truly proven their intense love is stronger than the relentless cycle of rumors? Or do you believe the corrosive doubts will always remain a dark cloud over them? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And if this story captivated you, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more untold truths about your favorite celebrities.